Hello and welcome to the Bentleigh Report. We are in February 2024. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
You are indeed Leon Guzenfitter. Mr. Bentleigh, there's so much going on in and around the market. It's an exciting time. Are you well rested and ready for the big run-in through just about the whole year now?
I think so. That went quickly, didn't it?
It did go quick.
You know, felt like we spent a lot of time on the beach, but it went in a blur.
Yep.
Kids are back at school and...
Suntan's faded, and that's
a little bit.
Back to work we go. It has been a very exciting start with some great results, some really good offerings. Good clearance rate last weekend, already 80%, which puts us well ahead of the industry. So it's nice to be able to get that. And some really exciting results too. Some great sales and some very competitive sales right across the board for smaller apartments through to family homes to the luxury and prestige end of the market. It's good to see so many people out and about. And our team in Bentleigh has grown yet again.
Right.
Here we grow again.
Yes.
Leon, we've got some new recruits, which is exciting. We're smiling a little bit because during the middle of this recording, there's been some emergency drills taking place. So this is our third attempt. Let's go. We've got some new recruits. Let's hear a bit about them.
Yes, we do. We have Leo Yu that's come on board. Now he's a month in and already kicking some goals. And he'll be working very closely with me.
So there'll be you and me.
You and me, and Leon and Leo.
Good. And Leo, and there's two Leors, and there's a Lemore as well. Just to confuse things a bit.
And we have Jerry Lim coming on board, who'll be working in our office, but also very closely with Yan. And Jerry and Leo and Yan all speak Mandarin, which now we have 5 Mandarin speaking agents.
Exactly.
Which is such a great part of our business. I mean, not more than about 2 weeks ago, we were in this very room having our Chinese New Year event, which is a great success. So we had Jerry and Yan and Dizzy and Kevin and Leo, plus a lot of our clients, Mandarin speaking Chinese clients. And look, they're such a great part of our community. Big part of our business. I went to a competitor's auction the other day. There were 5 bidders bidding, and 4 of them were Chinese bidders. So it shows a lot.
And of course, on Saturday, I sold a property in Florence Street to a Mandarin-speaking person. Dizzy was communicating with them. So do you reckon they're sitting around the office saying, how about this bloke in Mandarin when you can't understand anything they're saying?
Possibly, and I'm trying to brush up on it, and then I managed to say Happy New Year, and I already forgot that.
You'll need to just key into the keyword, tune to the keyword, the idiot or moron or bum or whatever it might be in Mandarin that they're saying about you that can't understand. So when you hear it, you go, aha,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but look, it's great to have them on board, and looking forward to working with them, growing our team even further in Bentleigh.
Some exciting people and some great results, no doubt. Forthcoming with those people there.
Absolutely.
And already Yan Dosen is, one of the leading Asian agents in the marketplace. She does the most incredible job. Some exciting sales have happened, and we don't need to really wait to talk about them because they've happened already. Starting on the weekend, of course, in Parkmore Road, and I saw Philip. I wasn't able to be there, but I saw Philip strutting his stuff. It looked like a competitive auction. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, look, it was a reasonably well run campaign in the sense of we didn't have huge numbers through because it was probably a home that may get demolished and looked by a lot of developers. And on the north side, in the McKinnon School Zone, which we keep talking about, has its own economy. And look, the owners would have been really happy to get $1,600,000 based on the last few sales in that street. In fact, another competitor sold something off market for $1,700,000, which was a very livable 4-bedroom home, only a few doors down. Ours went to auction. I think it had a reserve just under 1.6 million, and 4 bidders took it to 1,702,000, which we think is a strong result. And I don't think would have got that price in December 23.
Now, one property that I was looking forward to going to the auction, but you denied me that opportunity, was in Wheeler Street, Ormond, which didn't make it.
Which didn't make it, and so since the last GPTV Bentleigh that we filmed, we've actually sold both halves of 36 Wheeler Street, which is a great development, one of the best you've seen of its kind. We sold one in 36A in right in December. We had a lot of sales in December, more than usual. A few weeks after its initial auction, and that sold around the 2,350 mark. Which we were sort of hoping to get the same for the other half, even though it had a slightly different configuration without a double garage. And the owners were very pleased because we actually managed to get more. So we set the record in Ormond for a joint royal townhouse with 36A, and we beat our own record a month and a bit later at 36B, while the price undisclosed was just shy of 2.4 million, which look, is a strong price, but a really good property which is worth every bit of it.
We're setting records and then we're breaking records. Love that. Ann Street's a good address. We had a good sale there.
We had a beautiful period home that was also scheduled to go to auction, but identified two strong buyers and sort of had a bit of a back and forward. That sold in excess of $2.4 million in December, which is really now the entry level for a full block in a good street in McKinnon, in the McKinnon School Zone.
I had the great pleasure of a twilight auction. We've got quite a number of them coming up. This one was in Yarraboon Close. It was a lovely home with a pool, and it was a lot of fun in December.
Yeah.
The sun was sort of just coming down a little bit over the horizon. It's still nice and bright, but not as much, of course, as full daylight. But that was an amazing result.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. And we had 4 strong bidders there. We put on the market, I think, at about $1,550,000, and the last 2 bidders fought it out, and it sold just over $1,600,000. And that was the perfect sort of scene for a twilight auction, where it was at the end of a warm day, the sun was still high, the whole street was full of neighbours, it had a great crowd. And interesting, at that time in December, a lot of properties were passing in, selling before, passing one bid or no bids. And I think that environment really helped put everything together. And having 4 bidders was a bit of a rarity 2 months ago.
Something a bit magical about that night, I agree with you, so much so that another resident in the street has said to us, you know what, did a great job, let's do it all again. So we now have another home. Wait
Number
for
23.
It'll be coming up, coming up in Yarraboon Close. So we love it there. So we're looking forward to another popular auction there. Got some good offerings. Talking about Yarraboon, we've got a few other good offerings coming up.
Before we do that, Gary, I was just going to talk about a quick sale, or 2 quick sales we made right at the depth of the end of December last year. And it's very interesting what happened, where there was another agency there was 3 new townhouses built in Fairbank Road.
Oh, I remember this story. It's a good one.
Another agency had the advantage of having the front unit fully advertised, styled,
full market,
the whole thing. And it took about 90 days for that to sell. I think it was 91 days on market. And by the time that one sold, I think maybe the developer just maybe fell out of a bit of love with that agent, wanted to see what else was available. Thankfully, they gave Yan a call, but said to her, look, it's the middle of December. Don't really want to put furniture in now. Don't really want to advertise now. It's not the right time of year. Just go to your buyers and see what you can do. And I think within about 7 days of that, both Unit 2 and Number 3 was sold without a piece of furniture, without $1 of advertising, which, I think is a really strong sign of what we're doing with our database,
Yep. Well, if you move the letters of Yan around, you can have any. And Yan can do anything because she is awesome, and that was a great result.
That way, Gary.
That's a great result. Well, Words with Friends player, you think of these sort of things, Scrabble player. Well done to Yan. That's a terrific result.
Yeah.
Any other sales to wrap before we talk about our offerings?
No, there's a lot of sales, but I think those are the ones that, in their own categories were the most interesting and stand out since we last did this.
I think so. There are some other offerings coming up. Let's talk a little bit about Clee Street. Is one of my absolute favourite streets. There's some beautiful homes there. Tell us about the property coming up there.
Yeah, well, it's certainly the biggest land component offering in the area at the moment, in excess of 1,100 square metres, with a really cool sort of late 50s, early 60s home. But also, again, on a massive block inside that McKinnon School Zone catchment in one of the best streets in McKinnon as well. We're sort of seeing that around the 2.2 to 2.4 mark. And we have a mixture of house buyers and developers looking at that block, but a really exciting and a very rare offering, that one.
A few others to talk about. I've seen a few of these. Purtell Street's one I haven't seen. Tell us a little about that in Bentleigh East.
And shout out to Frontier Homes and Darren, who's the director of that company. They've done the most incredible job. I mean, the finish on this property is so nice. And interestingly, the other day we had a buyer come in late after the open as we'd already packed up and we'd flicked the lights off, and they said, well, can we quickly run through and have a look? And they said to me, oh, this has got so much natural light. This is so bright. We didn't have the lights on. So, it just shows that they've used full height doors and big windows everywhere, and they've done the most magnificent job. And if you're looking for a really out there townhouse, this is one to look at. And I love the little wine room cellar that they've made, which a picture may be behind us on the screen.
Bardolph Court is another terrific address. Tell us about this home.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to live in a court? It sort of reminds me of like Neighbours or something, where at the end of the street you can have a basketball hoop, or the kids are kicking the
footy,
football, and
traffic. Love that.
You sort of everyone sort of shares a cup of tea or coffee or sugar, or if they run out, it's sort of that kind of environment. There's only, I think, 8 dwellings in that
You
court.
wouldn't want to make a living out of selling Bentleigh Court.
No, it doesn't come up very often. But a really good 4-bedroom, single-level home in good order. And again, in a quiet court, you can see, a family there for a long time. And it's very entry-level into the market at 1.7 to 1.8 million.
We are always active in East Brighton. It's an area that you seem to specialise in, notwithstanding the fact that our Bayside office sells there and our corporate office sells there, and so does Murrumbidgee County, because we sort of got almost a circle around there, certainly on the north and east side of it. Tell us a little bit about this incredible home that is coming up in Hornby Street, because this would have to be one of the best offerings in East Brighton that the market's seen probably ever.
Yeah, well, I think it's every chance of probably getting up there in the top price that's ever been achieved in that pocket of East Brighton. I mean, if you sort of said, I want to build a dream home, I want to raise my family here, I want to live here for 10, 15 years, first you look for a good street, and Hornby's a great street. Then you'd say, look, if I can get on the west side, so I have the sun coming out the back at the west in the afternoon, I'd like that. This one's got the western orientation at the back. And if it was just a bit bigger than the average block, that we could still, not kiss the back fence when we had our back patio al fresco and also our pool, this one's got that too.
Even better.
And then you've got the house, which is very, very spacious, beautifully laid out in as new condition. And I just think you couldn't replace it anywhere close to what it's going to go for.
And look, I'm sorry that the resident of the home doesn't stay, but the resident is actually a real estate agent, and real estate agents, you'd like to think, know a little bit about properties. So this is a fantastic property.
Yeah, very exciting to have that come with us.
We're going to wrap up with a home that we've both seen and we've both fallen a little in love with. It's not the most expensive home out in the marketplace, but it's certainly one of the best that you'll see in its category. That's 58 Langcock Street, Brighton East, on a corner property there.
Yes.
Not far away from the school, of course, not far away from that terrific cafe across the road from there as well. Tell us a little bit about this very pretty period gem.
Yeah, it does. It has that beautiful sort of period
classic
facade, very classic facade. This is such, at this price point, you're either buying units or you're buying maybe joint wall townhouses to get a very pretty freestanding home on a corner that has 3 bedrooms, has an ensuite off the main, so it's got 2 bathrooms, very bright living area where all the living area has lots of glass, as you probably see some photos, and all to the north.
Yeah, it all opens up.
Opens up to the north. And I could see a young family buying this with a couple of kids that will walk about 100 metres to the school safely. And really excited to get this one started, because I think it's such a great entry-level house for the area.
No question. Look forward to seeing that one at the opens, 58 Langcock Street in Brighton East. Now that's a big wrap on this week's Bentleigh report, or this month's Bentleigh report. We look forward to bringing you all the news, and we will continue to do so. It's a very busy time now, right through pretty much till almost June, really. We've got sort of 3 or 4 very, very busy months, and I think this is going to be some nice offerings for buyers, but just for a short period of time, because the listings haven't continued at the same rate they were. So there is this kind of a bit of a bubble, a bit of a opportunity for buyers to get in, get something special. But that opportunity, that window will be closed pretty quickly, as listings are going to dry up as soon as this little burst is over.
Yeah, and I think, Gary, there's a lot of talk about rates, and I think most people would say we've reached the top of those rates.
It feels like
and
it.
I've seen in the past when we've had continued rate cuts in a row, and I feel if we get 2 or 3 in a row, there will be a real rush, because people think, well, I better buy now before it goes up. So, if you've got your pre-approval now and you see property you like and it ticks, 8 out of 10 boxes, I'm not sure, especially with the cost of building and so on, that prices can go further down.
You wouldn't have thought so.
I think this might be a good time to buy if you're ready.
Low unemployment, reasonable interest rates, and immigration all looks like property prices, I'm sorry, buyers, but it looks like it's going to go up again. So hurry up and get in, and then you won't have to be sorry for anything, because you'll be secure in your position in the market. Look forward to seeing you next time on the Bentleigh Report. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Leon Guzenfitter.
Thanks for watching.